are watching the Cooking with Jack show.
All right, guys. So let me give you the skinny. All right. We have a big project going on. I know nothing about this. Okay. The Ellis Way, Leslie from the Ellis Way, is here to teach me. I jarred once and I failed. You guys let me know. I appreciate that, by the way. Oh, sorry. See? It's the Ellis Way TN. TN. Tennessee. Get it? All right. So it's the Ellis Way TN. Link down below. Subscribe to her channel. Check it out. She knows what she's doing more than I know. So she's going to teach me how to use a digital pressure canner. She called me one day. Remember? Yeah. She called me, said it was on sale, and it was the best thing she's ever invested in. So I didn't know how to use it, but I bought it anyway. So let's go through. Now we got the jars, got the pressure canner, and you brought some stuff. What did you bring?
Yeah, so if you start canning, one of the first things you want to get, even if you're hot water bath canning, which this also does, pressure cans plus hot water bath cans. So you got two options there, but you want to get a canning kit. You got little tools for taking your jars out. You don't have to touch them because they're hot. All this come in a little kit. So you want to make sure you get a little kit that's got all the goodies stuff, and you'll see us using it during the video. But that we'll link that also at the bottom. This is a must when you're canning. And then I always use this. Actually, there's one in here, but this actually will pick up your lids. It's got a magnet on it, but it also helps you, especially if you're canning meat, things like that, the air gets trapped, to move the air around to make sure the air releases. So this is
for burping it, right?
Basically. This is a tool I use all packing it, whatever. This is a tool I use more than anything. And then of course the funnel helps keep your rim of your jars clean. So the funnel is a must. Then I do use a strainer sometimes if there's like seasonings you don't want to go down in there, or bone, things like that. I use this a lot when I'm doing chicken broth and things like that. But that's a must. And we'll put the kit, it all comes together in a little kit, and we'll put that.
I'm completely in the dark. Okay, what do we got here?
So this is just, I wanted to give you some examples of some things that I have canned this year. This is not all. And most of the videos are up on my channel. So you can kind of do your own thing. There is a direction book. You always want to use your manufacturer instructions or directions when canning. So a ball, I also have a ball recipe book somewhere. I'll show you guys, but that's a good book to have too. Not only that, you never want to reuse your lids, just FYI. But
wait. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. You mean we can only use that lid once?
Yes.
And then throw it out?
Yes, because it has like a rubber, and you'll see it has a rubber.
Wait, I know people who reuse their lids. They sterilize them, and it.
Not safe to reuse. Never. I toss them.
That is literally.
That's the number one rule.
The first time I've ever heard that.
That's the number one rule.
I don't know. I trust you.
You can reuse the rings, and you can reuse the jars.
But the lid part.
Lids, you always, if you're canning using the lid, you always want to do a new lid when canning. This is a apple pear sauce. So instead of just like applesauce, I added pears to it. My daughter had a pear tree this year, so we got a ton of pears. So this one actually has some rotisserie chicken left over. So it's shredded. You can't really see it, but shredded chicken. See it? And this was actually a vegetable pack, like the mixed vegetable frozen pack. Yeah. Literally just put rotisserie chicken in there, added the mixed vegetables in there, and then put some chicken broth in there and canned it.
So you can do lazy version. You can buy like shredded chicken breast at Costco, the big bag of it, bring it home, frozen vegetables, bring it home, and then throw it all in the jar.
Then this is the one you were amazed by. This is baked beans ready to go. So I took navy beans that were dried.
She literally put dry beans, like raw, like hard beans in the jar. Go ahead.
So normally where you would do dry beans and you have to put water in them, let them soften up. Do you ever do dry beans?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do pinto beans
So,
growing up.
you have to like let them soak in water for so long and all that. Because this goes through a process where it heats up, it does all that as it goes. So these are actually, I put barbecue sauce in here and whatever season you put in your barbecue beans, and then the dried navy beans, and we have barbecue beans ready to go.
So bottom line is, let me go over what we're going to do real quick. We're going to do asparagus. We're going to do green beans. We're going to do baby carrots. And we're going to we'll cook. Are we cooking the ground beef?
Yes.
Okay. Before it goes in the jar, we're going to make probably some taco or Italian meat. I'm going to use Italian seasoning or taco seasoning. We'll brown it up. We're going to jar meat, which I'm kind of excited about. So let's get that prepared, and then we'll join you right back here with everything ready to go. Okay, guys, we're putting the canning pressure cooker together. Now, the first step before we put the food in the jars is to do what?
So you want to rinse this out. This is your pot, and there's actually a line in there to fill water up to that line for your pressure canning. If you are hot water bathing in this, then you would put your jars in, then fill it inch over your jars.
What's the difference?
So hot water bathing doesn't have to have pressure and doesn't get as hot. So certain things you only have to hot water bath. And if there's enough acidity in the...
Like tomato sauce?
Yes. Tomato sauce you still have to add. Tomatoes don't have the acidity even to...
Really?
Yeah, they don't have enough acidity. They're right on the line. So you normally add lemon or something like that. That'll bring up the acidity.
Okay. So this normally goes at the bottom of the pot, right?
Yes. So it just goes on the bottom to keep the jars from hitting when it's pressure canning, hitting
so the glass don't crack.
And then, right.
What's that?
Okay, this is a regulator.
That's the thing that rattles on top?
That's the thing that puts the weight on it to build up the pressure. So we don't put that on until it actually will tell us when to put it on.
Really?
When it gets hot enough, it'll tell us when to put this on. This thing is amazing. So it changes the way you pressure can, and it's so easy. Wow. And then it comes with a lid, and then you have a ring. These rings or these seals can actually be replaced. The Amazon has them pretty cheap.
You can buy new ones, yes. Right?
And then the other lead goes on.
Okay, so do you have water in that right now?
Yes, I have water to the edge.
Wait, don't we have to sterilize the jars?
Yes, we're going to sterilize the jars next while this is heating up.
Oh, not in this.
We can do it in this. Actually, as the water heats up, it'll heat the jars up.
Why is that blinking? What is that?
Because it's ready for me to set it.
Okay.
But I got to clean the jars first.
Do you? I'm sorry. Do you set it to sterilize?
No, I'll show you just a second when I put the jars in there. But it'll have low jars, and it'll tell you
it'll
step by step.
It'll be empty jars with the lids off, right?
Yes, because we're just going to clean them.
We're sterilizing only the glass.
No, we're going to put our lids and our bands, rings, whatever you want to call them. We're going to put those on the stove and bring them to a boil.
Okay.
It's not hard. You're making it hard.
This all sounds hard to me. All right, guys, let me explain something I did learn. So we're going to put the glass jars in the canning pressure cooker. It will tell you when it's done sterilizing the jars. So I'll show you what it looks like once it's done. But first we're rinsing the jars. We're going to set them in. We're going to set it to sanitize or whatever, sterilize. And then it will tell us when it's done. Okay? So, still confused. Okay, guys, let me explain the setup. How much water is in the big unit?
So there's a line, and you just fill it to that line.
Oh, you filled it to the fill line.
Yes.
And then you put about 4 inches of water in each jar to keep it weighed down.
Yes.
So let's show you what that looks like. See? So there's water in every jar, and there's water in the big machine.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So now we're going to put the lid on.
Yes.
Oh, I bet that's where the regulator goes, huh?
Yes. Okay, so on here, We're going to pressure can. If you wanted to hot water bath, you would flip it to there. It's a boiling water canner.
Okay.
So we're pressure canning. And then how long are you want us to do it? 40 minutes.
Why 40?
Because the meat needed to be 40 minutes.
Wait, we're sterilizing. We're not cooking the
This
meat.
doesn't matter. This is how long you're pressure canning for. We're setting our timer for our pressure canning. Okay.
But we haven't sanitized yet.
It will, watch. So we got 40 minutes you had to set first. So pressure can your time frame that you want to can.
Got it.
Pressure can. Then you hit it again. Then it says insert jars. So our jars are in there. So we're going to hit it again and it's warming up.
Got it.
The timer will not start until it reaches 10 pounds of pressure.
Okay.
But we're going to take them out once they're sterilized. We're going to take them out and fill them and then put them back in there.
All right. I trust you.
The easiest way I do it, and this is just a Ellis Way 10 thing, I rinse and wash my jars, soapy water, rinse them out really good. I put mine in the oven on 250 degrees because our boiling point's about 225 here.
Right.
So I leave them in the oven until I'm ready to use them.
Got it. So you use the oven to sterilize.
Yes. And that way they're staying there and they stay hot and I can do...
But today we're using this.
Yes, I big batch can.
Okay.
So I'm canning...
What does that mean?
I'm canning 15 to 20 jars. So I literally have jars sitting here waiting to be filled, and I fill them as I fill
And as
this.
long as you don't touch them, they're still sterile.
Yeah, they're in my oven.
And that's why you've got the clamp to pick them up, right?
That's because they're going to be really hot.
But they also keep them sterile, correct?
Yes. Well, they're going to be so hot if you touch them, it's still going to be sterile.
So when this will tell us what next?
Next, it'll say the jars are warm. Fill jars. It literally says fill jars.
What, do we pour the water out?
So we're going to take them out. We'll pour the water out that's in the jars.
Right.
And then we'll fill the jars.
With the vegetables and the meat?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Okay, what are we doing in this pot while we're sterilizing the jars in that?
We're sterilizing our lids and our rings. Another reason you do this is because those rings, the lids have a rubber ring in them.
Yep.
And you want to soften that.
Got it.
And keep them hot.
So how do you sterilize? What are the rules?
We're going to bring them to boil.
Okay. Do we have to have them submerged? Because there's not a lot of water in it.
The steam's going to catch them.
Got it.
I can stir them or whatever, but the steam's
So what
going
do
to
you
catch
got, about 4 or 5 inches of water in there? Okay.
You can do a bigger pot.
So you're going to put it out on here?
I was doing this for convenience. So.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we're going to bring the water to a boil.
And just let it boil while that's getting ready.
Then you just turn it off and let it naturally cool?
No, because we're going to place them on the jars hot.
Got it. Okay. All right. Okay, this thing beeped about 2 or 3 times, and it says fill jars. Now what do we do?
We're gonna
fill jars.
We're gonna pull the jars out, drain the water out of the jars, and then we're gonna fill jars.
Okay, so it beeped. It said fill jars.
Yes.
Now we open it up.
I'm gonna open it up.
Okay. Oh, they're sterile.
You can see our jars.
See?
So this is very important. Normally I hold a rag underneath in case it slips, but I don't have one right here. And then we are going to pour the water out.
Oh, you just keep hold of it.
Yep. And then it's going to be ready to fill.
Okay, so the water's been boiling, so those are sterile.
Yes.
The jar got emptied, that's been sterile.
Yes.
And there's one step you got to do, right?
Yeah, so we're going to fill the jars. So I just take the funnel. Is that what you call that?
Yeah.
Everybody's got different words for it.
No, that's what I call it.
And we're going to, these are raw. So we're just going to pack them in there. And then we're going to fill it with hot water, boiled water. You want to boil the water and bring it to boiling temperature to sterilize the water. And we're going to fill it to 1 inch headspace.
You're going to jar the carrots with water?
Yes.
Is that normal?
Yeah, you have to add water in there.
Got it. Same with the beans?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so I've got carrots packed in my hot jar.
Right.
And then we're going to pour our
the hot water
in there, which I need to get
into
a ladle.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
This is Jack's kitchen, so kind of.
No, it's all good. It's your kitchen as long as you're in here.
Water, or you can use. Sometimes I will take the what do you call it? The seal my water.
Right.
But, have it a sealer. So you want to fill it just to the inch head space.
So right above the carrots.
Yep, and then we're going to take this handy dandy tool.
And that's to burp it, make sure all the air pockets are gone.
Kind of smush it around a couple times.
Got it.
I will even take a pot holder and just pop my jar a couple times on the counter to pull up the air too.
Okay.
After we get the water filled, we've got the air out. We're going to take a little bit of vinegar and just clean the lid just a little bit.
To keep it 100%?
Yeah, that just cleans it off. It actually helps
sanitized.
The rubber seal too.
Got it.
It needs to be really clean.
So there's a magnet at the bottom of that lets you,
Yeah, there's a magnet on this.
Got it.
And you can see on this, that rubber ring, that's where your seal's at. That's the most important part.
And you like lightly close that, or
lightly,
not too hot,
right.
not too hard.
Right. You don't want to do too hard. They won't seal that way. Because you want the air to release on the inside. And
then you place it back in?
Yeah, put it back in there. Everything's the same temperature. Or you try to keep it as the same temperature as much as possible.
Okay.
And then,
so now we're going to fill that with what?
We'll do green beans.
Okay. So that's got hot water, it's sealed, it's all good, right? Mm-hmm. And then what? You put it back in the water?
Like I said before, and I'll repeat this a million times, the main thing is keep everything at a good warm temperature. If not, your jars will bust.
That's for the meat next?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, this is the part I'm interested in because that's the meat, of course.
So we got our hamburger meat. We've already cooked.
Okay. We've already seasoned it too.
What did you put in there?
Salt, pepper, garlic, SPG, and Italian seasoning.
And Jack likes the flavor of the fat, so we did not drain this off for you.
You can drain the grease if you want.
But we did not. And the only thing that's going to cause it'll still rise to the top, so you want to scrape it off later. You can scrape it off later.
Yep.
But you don't have to.
Probably won't.
No. You like it for the flavor, right?
Yeah, definitely. So what are we going to get? 2 jarfuls?
Maybe have a little extra.
Okay.
And how many pounds did you have?
2 pounds.
Okay.
So, and then you got the pot of boiling broth.
Yes. We boiled the broth, and so it's hot, and we can fill the jars with hot broth.
Okay.
Since this has been cooked, if you were doing raw, like chicken or something like that, you don't want to pack it too much because you want to leave spaces in it so that all the air can get out. It might be trapped. But this has already been cooked, so it's not going to stick together as much.
Okay, so we put all the jars. They're all filled. They got hot water and broth. We put them back in. There's water in there still?
Yeah, you still got your water level still in there.
Got it.
It's about halfway up the jar.
Right.
Once you put your jars in there, it'll rise about halfway.
So you sealed the lid.
So I sealed the lid, and I'll put this down. This just goes down. Super easy. This is not intimidating at all like a pressure cooker. Old-timey pressure cooker, I should say.
Right.
And then we're warm, so we filled our jars. It says fill jars. We did that. Now it's going to heat up. Once it reaches the level that it's built up your 10 pounds of pressure, it will tell you, it will beep like 10 times. It will tell you to put the regulator on. And then you put the regulator on.
All right, guys. So this did say 9. Now it says 8. It is going to count down when it hits 0. Then it'll tell us put that weight on that. Okay? That's it. Okay, so this thing's beeping. Is it waiting for us to do something?
Yeah, literally says put regulator on.
Oh, okay. It says put regulator on.
Yeah, so you want to be really careful because there's hot steam coming out of there. So always try to get on both sides, and you just want it to press it down.
Okay, guys, so we were canning for 40 minutes is what we set it to. And it just started beeping. What does that mean?
That means that it's done pressure canning, but you still need to let it rest until it cools off enough till that release valve pops up.
So we're doing a natural release?
Yes.
Okay.
It's got to cool down.
So it started beeping to tell us it's done with the 40 minutes. It started beeping to tell us it's done canning. So now you have to naturally let it release pressure. Naturally let it cool down. They're sealed right now, huh?
Well,
They're
it's
almost.
releasing pressure.
Right. As it's cooling,
Yes.
it will tighten up and seal.
Yeah, it's all scientific.
Don't touch it. Just let it cool completely. And then we'll show you what we got.
Once this has went down, this is your vent. Once it has went down, you flip this green switch and you just turn it back. And then be very careful and open the lid away from you because there will be steam. Open the lid away.
And it will drip water.
Yes. So be very careful with that. Sorry.
And be careful for the, whatever agitator.
Normally mine doesn't come off like that. Mine stays on. But, and you don't want to lose this. You got to have this. So, and then here are here's the asparagus. And then, and once it settles, the air releases, it'll settle some. And you got green beans. Here is our hamburger. Oh, that looks yum. Looks good.
It does look good. Look how hot it is.
And you see all that air is releasing. So you want to let these jars rest. I usually let mine rest about 20.
Is that your phone?
Probably, it's okay. I usually let mine rest for about 24 to 48 hours before I ever touch them. I put them out like this, space them out a little bit, put some towels over them so they cool slowly. But you'll hear them in just a few minutes, they'll start popping where they're sealing. And there's a lot of pressure here, and it's because all that air is running out.
So just let them naturally.
Just leave them alone. Let them sit.
Okay.
Don't touch them. Don't move them. Don't shake them. Don't turn them over because that air is still coming out between this.
Do you want the hand towels in this drawer? I got those right there, those white ones, the flour.
So I normally just will put something over them and let them rest and just leave it alone. And then they'll be ready for the show.
Is that okay? Just like that?
Yeah.
Okay.